Hello and welcome back to Bucket Drop, where today we will be finishing off Team Rocket. For good. Forever. And let's see, here's the... I need to get the hints for these, because this puzzle always screws me up. Change the order of switching. Okay, that one I know. I think one of them tells me which... The switch on the end is the one to press for. Okay, that's what always confused me. The one on the end. Does it mean this one? Or does it mean this one? They're both on the end. I assume it means this one because it's the furthest one in. And I feel like it goes 1, 3, 2? Or 3, 1, 2, I mean. Let's see. And there's a couple items down there. I think there's 2 burglar trainers. No. Okay, that wasn't it. Alright, let's undo that. Alright, if the one on the end is first and they mean number 3, then the order is 1, 2, 3. Or 3, 2, 1. I'm thinking 1 from the left, but it's 1 from the right. Just like reading a Japanese manga. Right to left. Or just 1 through 3 from the doorway. They ditched this project before they finished. I'm searching for leftover loot. So I don't think I can actually get these... With the way that the walls are undone, I don't think I can actually get the 2... Oh, I've got a dead Pokemon. Oh, that's right. I got self-destructed. That's fine. I'll go heal. I'll verify that this is... You know what? I'll just go heal. Whatever. Or this... It's not necessarily right to left like a manga. It's just right to left because that's where the door is. That makes more sense. And speaking of which, I have started reading manga a little bit. I never read that much of it. I've become a big anime watcher, but manga I didn't read much of until recently. I started. I had read a few, but recently I've just been in like a serious manga mode. I read I have several that I'm caught up with. And I'm waiting for... There's Slash. It was level 38. Okay. It was only like my 4th guess, but... Oh, man. Oh, I already got rid of... Oh, shit. I guess I'll get rid of Bite. Damn. Alright, that's not that big of a deal. I want to get rid of Cut, but I'm not quite there yet. I'll be able to get rid of it soon. But damn, oh well. It's not too big of a deal. Whatever. But yeah, pretty much I had only read like 2 manga. I read Grand Blue because the anime was hysterical, and it was the first anime I saw where like every single Reddit thread about the show was like, yeah, that scene was good, but it's not as good as the manga, huh? And they said that for every single episode, and I got really sick of it, and out of spite, I was like, I'm not going to read manga because I don't want to wind up like these tools. And eventually, after the anime only has 1 season, and I was like, this is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I want more of it. So I finally read the manga. And I hate to admit it, but the manga is better. I'm now one of those guys. I'm not saying that about everything. There's a lot of, like... You know what's better than looking at a silly static picture and reading? Having a moving silly picture and having someone say it to you. In a lot of cases, the anime is just better. You know, there's music involved, there's direction, there's voice acting. It's all different elements of it. There's been back and forth. Sometimes the manga has a bigger impact in certain places. Sometimes the anime has a bigger impact. In this specific case... Yes, the manga was funnier, and I've been waiting for an update on it for months now. It's been I caught up to it a while ago, and then I stopped reading manga for ages, and then all of a sudden, just a couple months ago, I was like, you know what? I haven't checked up on my manga lately. Let me do that. What was I reading? I was reading that, and I was reading Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro, which is now getting an anime. And that will be the first... I've since read more manga, but this will be the first show where I read the manga first. And I don't know what really made me decide to read it. You know, everyone says it's kind of just like, it's fetish bait. It's a younger... Your junior is bullying you, which is not something I'm into or anything. It just... I don't know, I thought the art was good. It looked kind of funny, so I read it. And I was like, oh, it's actually good. I like it. So I read that. And then I didn't read anything for a while. And then a couple months ago or something, I was like, oh, it's been a while. I should catch up on those. So I did. And then I was, instead of my usual... Oh, it was level 36, not 35. Oh, what do I get rid of, though? I guess I'll get rid of Bite. Oh, but then I... Yeah, I'll get rid of Bite. Bite doesn't really do much that Fire Spin won't also accomplish, so... I mean, I guess it's super effective against Psychic types, but... They are very few and far between, at least at this point in the game. Okay, let me see if that opened up. No. Okay, I gotta get this, this item here. I don't think it's anything important. I'm just gonna mess with this a little bit right here while I get ready to go heal myself and see if I can get it to open. No. Maybe with just the one door down? Huh? No. Alright, whatever. No, you know what? I'm saying whatever, but I can't leave stuff unpicked up. It's just... It's not in my nature, man. I'm a completionist. So actually doing these kind of runs where I'm like, I'm not going to pick this up, or I'm not going to use this Pokemon. When I play Pokemon, I want to catch everything. I don't care how many times I play Pokemon. I still stick around and try and catch everything. Even if I'm like, I've built my team, I'm going to use these 6 Pokemon. I still just gotta catch everything, man. It's just the way I like to play. So it takes me forever to play Pokemon. Nope, that's not it either. You know what? Whatever. I'll look up how I'm supposed to get it later after I finish this section and pick it up quickly on my way out. It's not important. I know it's not. If it was something really good, I would remember how to do it because I would do it every time, but I know it's just like a potion or something, which will be important to me because I can't buy any potions, but it's not it's not the TM for Earthquake or something. So it's not something I need. But what I was saying was, a couple months ago, I randomly caught up with my manga, and I was like, I want more. And I just started, like, marathoning a bunch of other ones, and I've read a bunch of, like, short, little, generally rom-coms, which, I'll admit it, I like rom-coms. Not American ones, those are stupid. I like, Japanese ones. Like, you know, shows with a romance, movies with a not movies, I don't really watch movies. Anime and manga with the romance. With American stuff, I want comedy, I want action, I want mystery. With for some reason with anime and manga, I want a nice romance, a nice story. So I read a bunch of shorter ones of those. You know, nothing that made me be like, this is amazing, I'm in love with this, but good stuff. I didn't really hate anything. And then a bunch of other stuff that I just... Most of the reason that... Not anymore. Now I've actually, like, sought out stuff. But in the beginning, most of the anime and manga that I sought out was because I saw, like, a silly GIF on Reddit or a screenshot or something. And then I was like, fuck it. Add it to my list. I'll watch it later. So that's why my watch list is hundreds of entries long. And I've made a dent in it, but I have way more unwatched than watched. So I've got a ways to go in that. But, so a lot of the manga on my list was I just saw one random panel and I was like, fuck it, that looks funny, I'll read it. And I haven't gotten around to it. But a lot of the other stuff was just shorter romance or comedy that I wanted to read. And then, what else am I reading right now? One other thing that I'm... Of all the longer ones I'm reading, like Nagatoro, and Grand Blue. I started reading one called Eminence of Shadow, which is really good. The art is phenomenal, and it's hysterical. I hope it gets an anime adaptation. It's basically about a... The thing that sold me on it was the first chapter, because the main character wants to be... I can't remember if he decides this right from the get-go or after this first thing that happens, but he wants to be the ultimate background character, basically. And I think he decides this after the first chapter, where he just wants to be super strong, so he becomes super strong, and he's just, like, incredibly buff sitting in class, and it's silly. And then he gets killed immediately because he realizes it's a fantasy manga. It doesn't matter if I'm super strong, there's magic in this world. I can just get blasted. So he dies, he's reincarnated, and he decides he's going to basically train obsessively and become the ultimate background character so that he can help someone else be the ultimate protagonist. And it's just a really... Basically, he makes up a bunch of fantasy bullshit that all turns out to be, coincidentally, 100% true. Like, he starts babbling about, I can feel it, the demon cult is coming, and it turns out in that world, the demon cult is a real scary thing, so he thinks just everyone is playing along with him with the joke, but it just, coincidentally, everything that he says is 100% true, and it's hysterical, and the art is phenomenal, and I really hope that gets an anime. And other than that, I haven't read too many, but I've been reading a lot of it lately. I wanted to start reading. I have other stuff on my list that I watched the anime for and really liked and want to read the manga. But I'm kind of struggling over deciding when to actually watch it. Like I want to start reading Attack on Titan because I love Attack on Titan. Surprise! Everyone loves Attack on Titan. I want to read it because apparently there's a lot of like some things happen one way in the anime, they happen differently in the manga, and I wanted to try and catch up with the marathon through it, catch up with the anime because the anime is ending in a couple weeks, and I kind of wanted to like read one and then watch it, see how they did it. But it's long, man. I'm not reading it that fast. I read like a chapter a day, which ain't gonna cut it because it ends in a couple weeks and there's like 150 chapters or something. And I'm not gonna read it that fast. They're long chapters. They're like 40, 50, 60 pages. So I'm not gonna catch up with that. I've been watching The Promised Neverland, which is season 1 of that was phenomenal. Like, I won't call it a masterpiece. I gave it a 9 out of 10, so extremely good. Not my absolute favorite, but it might be a top 10, top 15 at worst anime. It just masterful crafting of suspense, mystery, intrigue, and just has you on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen from week to week. And then Season 2 came out, and it's not that. Apparently, the manga very recently ended, and apparently the ending was extremely poorly received. Like, people hated it. They thought they thought it was like this was a masterpiece, and then they just shit all over it. So, what's going on basically is, I think you could break it down that the manga had about 3 main parts. There was the first arc, which everyone thinks is a masterpiece. The second arc, which I don't want to say what they were. I don't want to spoil for the 2 people who watch my channel. Anyone who wants to read it. The first one there is a very suspenseful, great arc. Everything works well. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. Fantastic. The second arc, people say it's almost as good as the first one. They introduce what everyone is saying is the best character in the manga. And then the third arc was the ending, which everyone said was shit. So my get in this, what's going on basically it seems like they told the author, I keep saying author. They told the author, look, everyone hated your ending. We're not giving you 3 seasons, so it's getting wrapped up this time. You can either leave it at the end of Arc 2 and say, well, read the manga if you want the ending, or you can make up an ending and just wrap it all up, or we can rush through the 2. So it seems like what they did is, what people are mad about is they essentially cut out the entire middle part. The first, 3 or 4 episodes were good enough. They weren't as good as Season 1, they were good enough. People were enjoying it. Manga readers were like, they're doing things a little bit differently, but it's not terrible. And then I think it was episode 4 or 5 where just the shit hit the fan, everything went out the window, and manga readers are like, I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. They basically cut the entire middle arc out, so anime watchers now, we will never meet that character that everyone says is the best character. I don't know who they're talking about. I haven't read the manga. Everyone says whoever this is was the best character, and they're just not getting introduced now, so people are mad about that. And then this new ending, it might just be people who are salty that it's not going the way they wanted, but everyone seems to be implying that it's looking even worse than the first one. So, it's been a bit of a shit show. I was just talking to my friends about this, my friends that I watch anime with the other day, about what our biggest anime disappointments was, and this is coming up there for my number 1. Some of our other ones we discussed was the Saga of Tanya the Evil, which I wasn't a big disappointment for me, but my friend, he thought the premise was such a cool idea. It's one of the stupid isekai, whatever, where someone dies and gets reincarnated. But this person, it's a Japanese salaryman, a worker. He dies and he gets reincarnated as a little girl with absurd magical capabilities in a wartime military story, which is a cool premise, I admit. He thought it was going to be awesome. I just okay, I'll watch that with you guys. And then the show was just so incredibly boring, and people call it a masterpiece. I was reading a thread recently, or not recently, but a couple months ago, or maybe even a year ago, of people talking about what is a modern classic. I think it was a Gigurk video. Gigurk? Whatever. I think it was one of his videos talking about modern classics and what would be a modern classic. And spoiler, his argument was that Attack on Titan, of course. If there's a modern masterpiece, it's Attack on Titan. Unless if this last season goes to shit, which it's being handled by a different studio, so the art is a little bit worse, the animation's a bit worse, but it's still good. And a lot of people were saying Tanya was a modern masterpiece, and I was just, we were blown away. We're like, did we watch the wrong show? Everyone calls this thing a masterpiece, and we're just this wasn't even good. It wasn't not just disappointing, because it was really only disappointing to my one friend that had such high hopes. It just, was super boring. Nothing happened. There's a couple of battles, but they weren't exciting. But it was mostly just people standing around talking politics, which that's part of the reason that Star Wars Episode 1 sucked. That was a kid's movie, and they were talking about taxes and random magical wizard bullshit that didn't need to be in it. In the same way that this was just people sitting around talking about war strategy, and no, I want to see the little girl blowing shit up. That sounds cool. But we didn't really get much of that. Other ones that we were disappointed in were, what should we call it? Shit. Damn, I had a perfect example. Gurren Lagann. I've never known how to pronounce it. Gurren Lagann, whatever it is. The beginning of it was fantastic. It was such a cool anime. It's a mecha anime. It was a Gainax, which is the same one that did Fooly Cooly and a lot of my favorite anime. Excuse me. No, that was a cough. You don't need to say excuse me for that. I do sometimes say bless you when someone coughs, just because, hey, it seems nice. And then people are like, oh, that was a cough. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. I hope you choke. The beginning of Gurren Lagann was super cool, and then there's a time skip and it gets a bit worse, which I thought it got a little bit worse. I didn't think it got terrible. My other friend thought it became atrocious, and he was like, this is the biggest drop-off for an anime I've ever seen. Which I didn't agree with, but it did get worse. I agree with that. Trying to I don't have that many anime disappointments because there weren't any where I read the manga and then the show didn't deliver, so I don't have any examples like that. So the closest thing I have to that, I guess, is a show where I had high expectations. So one of them was, I think it was 2 seasons ago, maybe 3. There was an anime called Pet. And it wasn't super popular or anything, but whenever a new season's coming up, I look up which sequels to shows that I've watched that I'll be watching, and then I just browse the My Anime list and see what's coming out and see if anything catches my attention. And then I'll go on the Reddit, a Reddit thread of the upcoming season and see what people are excited about. And people said that Pet, they're excited about. They're like, this looks like a dark horse that not a lot of people are going to watch, and they should. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll give it a watch. And the premise was cool. It was kind of like a mafia Inception kind of thing. Like, it involved going into people's dreams and doing all kinds of wacky shit like that. So I like that kind of like weird, cool stuff. And I hate to say it, but it was just so convoluted. It's actually a lot of the same complaints that people had with Inception. It was just so convoluted and stupid, and it started to get just so weird and not in like a cool way. It just got like kind of up its own ass almost. And it's the only... I usually, like... I'll always give an anime 2 or 3 episodes, and if I don't like it, then I'll drop it. But if I get past that, pretty much I'm gonna watch it. I made it... It was 13 episodes. I made it through 11 of them, and then I dropped it. I had 2 left. I didn't even want to finish it. I realized I was watching it, and I was, like, lying to myself that I liked it. And I realized I was, like, forcing myself to watch it every week. So eventually I went, you know what? Why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. There's so many other anime I want to watch. I could just watch one of those that I'll actually enjoy. So I did. I made it 11/13ths of the way through and dumped it. And that's the only anime that I've made it that far and didn't finish it. The other animes I've dropped... I haven't dropped that many anime. There's been like... I dropped Helpful Fox Senku-san because it didn't grab me. I dropped... I think it was called Watata. What An Angel Comes Down, Watata, whatever it is, because it was creepy. The main character was kind of a pedophile, so I dropped it, and the art was cute, but I just didn't like it. It was a little bit too much. There's another one called Backstreet Girls, which is as wacky as it sounds, and it was pretty funny, but there was literally no art. It was just basically a PowerPoint slideshow. So we dropped it after 1 episode. I was like, this is offensively bad. That might be the only ones I've dropped. Usually I stick with a show, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. There's been like 1 or 2 shows that I've started watching and went, I'm not into this right now, but I'm not gonna delete it. I'll come back to it later. I don't have any examples off the top of my head, but there's been like 1 or 2 shows where I was like, this is good, but I'm just like, I'm watching too much right now. I've got too much, like a currently airing show. I'll watch it, and then after an episode or 2, I'll just be like, I'm not really digging this, but I don't hate it, so I'm watching 10 shows right now. I don't need to be watching number 11 here, so I just put it on my regular plan to watch list. I'll watch it later. Don't need to keep up with it. There's been a few shows like that. But for the most part, I start watching a show and I stick with it. Something I watch a ton of currently airing shows, so I haven't been watching a ton of just my backlog. Normally I have my airing shows. I'll watch like a show, maybe 2 with my friends that we're just watching on the side, which we just watched the Danganronpa anime. Not great. Not great. It seemed like a Danganronpa fan fiction. Wasn't a big fan of it, which sucked because we both loved Danganronpa and it was more of that. So we were like, this is going to be great. And then it was just kind of like they introduced a lot of characters and we didn't really care about them. And then a bunch of, like, silly shit started happening, which a bunch of silly shit happens in the game. But when you're controlling it, it doesn't seem as bad, I guess. In anime form, it just didn't transfer. So we just finished watching that, and on my own, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, because I could put it on in the background while I'm working. I'm watching it in English, so I could just marathon through it. I should pay attention here. I just beat Team Rocket without talking about it. No, forgive me, Giovanni. How could this be? Our dreams have come to naught. I wasn't up to the task at all. Like Giovanni Joestar did before me, I will disband Team Rocket here today. Farewell. And it's over. Bucket, thank you. Your courageous actions have saved Pokémon nationwide. I know it's not much, but please take this. That is much. That's gonna let me get Suicune. There used to be a tower right here in Goldenrod City, but it was old and creaky. So we tore it down and killed the Pokemon that were in it. I can't remember if that's actually, like, the lore behind this. It has a connection to the towers in... Apparently something is going on with the Tin Tower. I can't remember if I have to do this now. I know in the remakes you have to, like, go through and get Ho-Oh or Lugia or whatever in the beginning, but I don't think I have to go get, Suicune. I'll look into it once I get, in between episodes here. Well, I think she gives me a pink bow. You're my little savior. Will you take this pink bow? Yes, I will. My pocket's full. What can I give, What was I talking about? I was talking about anime, wasn't I? Oh yeah, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z in English in the background while I work. And I've been watching Space Brothers, which is a longer show. I tend to watch shorter shows, 12 episodes for one season, maybe it's got 2 or 3 seasons. Space Brothers is 99 episodes. And I've kind of watched it in bursts. Like, I'll watch several in a day, whatever, or I'll watch like 10 or 12 over a couple days, and then I'll take a break. And I took a very long... I hit the halfway point, basically. I think it's essentially broken up into 2 seasons, because there's year 1 and year 2. It's about 2 brothers becoming astronauts. That's all I need to say. And, I took a break for months in between year 1 and year 2, and I finally came back to it and remembered that it's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite animes. No anime has made me tear up more than that. So, definitely recommend it. In between episodes here, I'm going to double check if I need to go get Suicune or if I can just skip it. I'll probably do it anyway, though, but I guess I'll just have to kill it rather than catch it. And I'm going to check what that item in the basement of the underground is and see if it's something I need to get. So, we'll do that next time on Bucket Drop. Peace out.